Are. Ah.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naistike Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Svapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 11, Calculation of Time from the Atom. So we are in the first section of this chapter, where we are discussing divisions of time. So in the previous chapter, Maitreya Muni gave a very brief introduction about time. And this chapter is dedicated entirely to the element of time. Yesterday, there was some glitch in the in the program, in the sense there were two programs got created. I'm really sorry for this. At the same time, these glitches make life very lively also. Otherwise, these are not recorded lectures we are hearing. We are meeting live. And I always say that whenever we go for any program, what to speak of going any program daily, there will be some glitches like that. Sometimes we don't get parking. Sometimes we get stuck in the traffic, that we are unable to reach on time. Sometimes we reach on time, but the speaker gets stuck in the traffic and he's unable to reach on time. Sometimes prasad gets delayed. Right. So just like there are so many hindrances, because material world is known for hindrances. So similarly, in our program also, sometimes there are such hindrances, and one should take it as a part of life. Right. So now we come to text 6. त्रस्रेणुत्रिकं भुङ्क्ते यः कालः स त्रुटिस्मृतः शतभागस्तु वेदस्यात् तैस्त्रिभिस्तु लवस्मृतः. Now there is further division of the time. Translation.
The time duration needed for the integration of the 3 tracerenus is called a truṭi, and 100 truṭis make one Veda. 3 Vedas make one lava. Purport: it is calculated that if a second is divided into 1687.5 parts, each part is the duration of a truṭi, which is the time occupied in the integration of 18 atomic particles. Such a combination of atoms into different bodies creates the calculation of material time. The sun is the central point for calculating all different durations. Hare Krishna.
So this theme of time and matter continues here. The time duration for the integration of the three trasarenus is called as truṭi. So here we are seeing three time measurements: truṭi, vedha, and lava. We must have come across this word, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hai. So that is called as a lava. Lava matra means very fractional amount of association. So the time duration is called as truṭi. 100 truṭis makes one vedha, and 3 vedhas makes one lava. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that if a second is divided by 1687.5 parts, look at the calculation here, each part is called as truṭi. What is this truṭi? Time occupied in the integration of the 18 atomic particles. Such combination of atoms into different bodies create the calculation of time. Right. Previously, we have seen the movement of the atom. Here we are seeing combination of the atom creating time. Last we had seen the movement of the atom in the space is called as time. And now here we see combination of atoms creating time. Very beautiful, amazing concept here. Combination of atoms is time. Text 7. Nimeshastri lavo dneya amnat tataste trayakshanaha kṣaṇān panchavidu kāṣṭa lakuta dasha panchacha. Translation.
Translation: the duration of time of 3 lavas is equal to 1 nimeṣa. The combination of 3 nimeṣas makes 1 kṣaṇa. 5 kṣaṇas combined together make 1 kṣaṇa, and 15 kṣaṇas make 1 laghu. Purport: by calculation, it is found that 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes. The atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into present time with this understanding. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Now there is further translation. There is a nimeṣa. The duration of the time of the 3 lavas is called as 1 nimeṣa. His Grace Radhesham Prabhu is doing kirtan here. Sankirtan. So that is called as a nimeṣa. And nimeṣa, 3 nimeṣa makes 1 kṣaṇa. And 5 kṣaṇa makes 1 kṣaṇa. And the 15 kṣaṇas makes 1 laghu. So now we can go in the calculation that when the second is divided by 1687.5 parts, that becomes truṭi. From truṭi to vedha, from vedha to lava. Later, when we come, the 14th text, there is all the calculation is given, even more detail, right? So this is called as, Prabhupada says, 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes. And this is how we can convert the Vedic wisdom, Prabhupada says, to the present day understanding that 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes. So these are some of the words we have used. Kṣaṇa, ayushya, kṣaṇa ekopi, na labhet svarna kotivi. So this is the kṣaṇa. Nimeṣa matra. So nimeṣa we have used. Lava we have used. Laghu we have used. So, right. Text 8. Laghuni vai saman mata dasha panchachanadika te dve muhūrta prahara shadyam saptava nrumam. Translation.
15 laghus make 1 nadika, which is also called a danda. 2 dandas make 1 muhūrta, and 6 or 7 dandas make 1/4 of a day or night, according to human calculation.
So now there is a further description. 15 laghus makes 1 nadika. So this is the next nadika. Nadika, which is also called as a danda, and the 2 danda makes 1 muhūrta. So muhūrtam sadhayet. So muhūrta is very, very regularly used, right? So we say this is the muhūrta, vivaha muhūrta, this muhūrta. So this is the muhūrta. And therefore following muhūrta is very important, right? One should, many times people decide their marriage on a muhurta, but then they get captivated in the other activities so much, like the procession, ghode pe baithna, naach gana karna, and other things, that people miss out on the muhurta. So muhurta is very important muhurta. And when the discussion comes to muhurta, there are two powerful muhurtas. One is called as a Brahma muhurta, which is extremely good for the spiritual activities, and another is called as Abhijita muhurta, which is good for the civil activities or other activities. So Lord Ramachandra appeared on the Abhijit muhurta. Brahma muhurta is way early in the morning, 4:30 in the AM, 4:30 in the morning. Brahma muhurta, it's little more daytime. It is like between 12 to 1 kind of a thing. That is called as Abhijit muhurta. So these are some of the things we have used: Nadika and muhurta. Dvadashartha palonmanam chaturbher chaturangulai swarnamashay kritachidram yavat prasthyajjalat plutam. Translation.
A measuring pot for one nadika or danda can be prepared with a 6 pala weight, 14-ounce pot of copper, in which a hole is bored with a gold probe weighing 4 masa and measuring 4 fingers long. When the pot is placed on water, the time before the water overflows in the pot is called one danda. Purport: it is advised herein that the bore in the copper measuring pot must be made with a probe weighing not more than 4 masa and measuring not longer than 4 fingers. This regulates the diameter of the hole, and the pot is submerged in water, and the overflooding time is called a danda. This is another way of measuring the duration of a danda. Just as time is measured by sand in a glass, it appears that in the days of Vedic civilization, there was no dearth of knowledge in physics, chemistry, or higher mathematics. Measurements were calculated in different ways, as simply as it could be done. Hare Krishna.
So now the next here is how to measure one danda. Measuring pot of one nadika or danda can be prepared with the 6 pala weight or the 14 ounces pot of copper, a particular golden probe. It is weighing the 4 masha and measuring the 14 angula, 4 fingers, 4 angula. And the pot is placed in the water, and the time before the pot overflows in the water is called as one danda. So this is how we calculate the time based on the matter. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that these are the ways, the overflooding time for this arrangement, where we are regulating the pot, where we are regulating the aperture or the hole, diameter of the hole, and this overflooding time is called as one danda. And just like we have the sand glasses, where you 15-minute sand watches, 20-minute sand watches, these are available. Even on Amazon, these are available, 30 minutes, right? So these are other ways of measuring the time way back, thousands of years of the Vedic history. Prabhupada says there is no dearth of knowledge in physics, chemistry, or higher mathematics. And this knowledge is so awesome. In fact, on the Twitter, there is a handle called as Lost Temples, right? And it's a very beautiful handle. And this handle, they will give you the glimpses of the temples in India, where Taj Mahal, being very, very secular here, Taj Mahal will not be even 1/1 millionth part in the beauty of those temples. There is a Meenakshi Gopuram. Then there are other temples. Near Kolhapur, there is an extremely beautiful temple. Then Rameshwaram, if you see, the 1200 pillars are arranged in such a way that the vision will meet at one point, one bindu of 1200 pillars arranged in such a way, right? Then there is another temple where on the equinox day, there are the 7 gopurams, and you will see the the sunlight, the vision of the sun, Surya Darshan, after each hour from one Gopuram, and there is a Gavaksha, there is a window being made on the Gopuram, 7th story. And it is an impossible feat, which is there. Or like Mahalakshmi temple in Kolhapur we have. On a particular day, Mahalakshmi temple will be bathed with the sun rays. The deity will be bathed with the sun rays. So all this is not some by chance or by some mistake or somehow. No. Prabhupada says there is no dearth of knowledge in physics, chemistry, or higher mathematics. And when one sees such temple, one can be really proud of one's Vedic culture. One can really see, what kind of, or this Ajanta, there is a Shiva temple. With one single stone, the entire temple is carved upside down. Can you imagine this? Means, the carving started from the up, and then the way you started carving, and then the whole thing went down. And that's, we're talking about acres of temple being made like this. So this handles are there, like this Twitter handle is very good handle, Lost Temples. And there are very good handles like Tatvamasi, or, there are some similar like that. There one will come to know Prachyam. Prachyam is one very good handle. Prachyam YouTube also channel is very good channel to have. Somebody wants to know a little more on these topics. These are the places where to get more knowledge from. Prabhupada says there is no dearth of knowledge in physics, chemistry, or higher mathematics. And it was all used in the service of the Lord. And that's how you can see, even now also we can go and see the Konark temple. And Konark temple, simply by the shadow, one can know the time in hours, minutes, and seconds. If you can read the shadow properly, shadow timing, right? If you can read the shadow, one can know the exact time of that day. And that is based on the sun's location, the artistry that is being made, and the shadow that is being followed, and the shadow being measured. And this is phenomenal. So this entire idea that India got civilized after Britishers came, and this Aryan invasion theory, and the entire idea of the education came to India only after the British rule, is a completely misnomer and completely mistaken idea. It is simply a colonial mindset which is trying to undo the people had the pride in the Vedic India. So because now the social media is free, these things are coming to fore. And if you compare these temples with Taj Mahal, of course we have nothing wrong with Taj Mahal, and many people say it is like Tejo Mahal, and it's itself is a temple of the Lord. But the point is, there was advanced knowledge in physics, chemistry, and higher mathematics. That's what Srila Prabhupada writes here. That's what we are discussing. Text 10. Yamas chatvaro martyanam ahani ubhe paksha panchadashahani shuklah krishnascha manada. Translation.
It is calculated that there are 4 praharas, which are also called yamas, in the day and 4 in the night of the human being. Similarly, 15 days and nights are a fortnight, and there are 2 fortnights, white and black, in a month.
Now we come to the higher calculation. 4 prahara or yama will make daytime, 12 hours. So 4 prahara is equal to 12 hours. Not exactly 12 hours, because the day is not just hours. And then 4 prahara will make the night of the human being. And therefore we see Ashtaprahar Kaliya Leela. Okay, Ashtaprahar Leela. So this Ashtaprahar means day and night pastimes of Lord Kṛṣṇa with Radharani. So Ashtaprahar, there are 8 praharas. 4 in the day, 4 in the night. So one day is defined. Now 15 such days, they will make 1 Pakshika or 1 fortnight. And 2 such fortnights will make 1 month, Shukla and Kṛṣṇa. So Shukla Krishnascha Manada. So these are the. So there is a Prahara, Yama, Paksha, Shukla Kṛṣṇa, and then Manada, or then this is how they are measured. Text 11. Tayo samuchayo masaha pitrunam tad aharnisham dvav tavrutu shadyanam dakshinam chottaram divi. Translation.
The aggregate of
aggregate
two
of
fortnights
two fortnights is
Yes, Mataji, continue.
the aggregate of 2 fortnights is 1 month, and that period is 1 complete day and night for the Pita planets. 2 of such months comprise 1 season, and 6 months comprise 1 complete movement of the sun from south to north.
So, aggregate of the 2 fortnight makes 1 month. So, 2 paksha. And then Pitruloka, the planets. Now, these are the Pita planet is different and the Pitruloka is different. Later, we are going to see the even detailed, the geography of the universe, how is very situated and what are their time spans. But here it is about the Pita planets. Okay, it is not to be confused with. It is not exactly the Pitruloka, a part of it, something like that. 2 such months make 1 season, and there are 6 seasons, and 6 into 2, 12 months. So in 1 year is equal to 6 seasons. 6 months comprise of the complete movement of the sun from south to north. So the Shadayanam, Dakshinam, Chottaram. So Shadayanam, Dakshinam means there will be Dakshinayana for 6 months and Uttarayana for another 6 months. So when it is Dakshinayan, that is the night of the demigods, and when it is Uttarayan, it is the day of the demigods. Text 12. Ayane chahani prahur vatsaro dvadash smritah samvatsarashatam dronam paramayur nirupitam. Translation.
2 solar movements make 1 day and night of the demigods, and that combination of day and night is 1 complete calendar year for the human being. The human being has a duration of life of 100 years.
So this is how that makes the day and night of the 2 solar movements. Dakshin to Uttar, Uttar to Dakshin will make day and night of the demigods. We have seen the day is the Uttarayana, and that is the 6 months on the planet Earth, and the night is Dakshinayana, right? And that is the another 6 months, 6 months on the Earth. And this combination of 1 day and night will make a 1 complete calendar day for the demigods, which is 1 complete calendar year for the human beings. And the human beings have the duration of 100 years in Kali Yuga maximum. Text 13. Grahakshar Tara Chakrastha Paramanava Adina Jagat Samvatsara Vasanena Paryatyat Nimisho Vibhu. Translation.
Influential stars, planets, luminaries, and atoms all over the universe are rotating in their respective orbits under the direction of the Supreme, represented by eternal Kal. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the sun is the eye of the Supreme and it rotates in its particular orbit of time. Similarly, beginning from the sun down to the atom, all bodies are under the influence of the Kala Chakra, or the orbit of eternal time, and each of them has a scheduled orbital time of 1 samvatsara.
So, influential stars, planets, luminaries, and atoms, they are all rotating under the respective order, under the direction of the Supreme. That is called as eternal Kala. The purport Srila Prabhupada writes that Brahma Samhita very clearly mentions Yachakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Suramurti Rashesha Teja Yasyadnaya Brahmati Sambrida Kala Chakro Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. Yasyadnaya, under whose instruction Brahmati moves in the orbit, Sambrida Kala Chakra, entire Kala Chakra is rotating under the Yachakshuresha Savita, including the Savita, who is the Raja Sakala Grahanam, who is the Raja of all the planetary systems. Prabhupada says, right from the sun to the atom. Now, that is the title of the chapter, right? Calculation of time from the atom, right? Beginning from the atom, we are calculating the time, right? All bodies are under influence of Kala Chakra. And this Kala Chakra continues in the scheduled orbit. Text 14. Samvatsara parivatsara idavatsara evacha anuvatsaro vatsarascha viduraiva prabhashyate. Translation.
Translation. There are 5 different names for the orbits of the sun, moon, stars, and luminaries in the firmament, and they each have their own samavatsara. Purport. The subject matters of physics, chemistry, mathematics, astronomy, time, and space dealt with in the above verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam are certainly very interesting to students of the particular subject. But as far as we are concerned, we cannot explain them very thoroughly in terms of technical knowledge. The subject is summarized by the statement that above all, the different branches of knowledge is the supreme control of Kala, the plenary representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing exists without him, and therefore everything, however wonderful it may appear to our meager knowledge, is but the work of the magical wand of the Supreme Lord. As far as time is concerned, we beg to subjoin herewith a table of timings in terms of the modern clock. 1 truṭi is 8 upon 13/500 second, 1 Veda 8 upon 135 second, 1 lava 8 upon 45 second, 1 nimeṣa 8 upon 15 second, 1 kṣaṇa 8 upon 5 second, 1 kastha 8 seconds, 1 lagu 2 minutes, 1 danda 30 minutes, 1 prahara 3 hours, 1 day 12 hours, 1 night 12 hours, 1 paksha 15 days. 2 pakshas comprise 1 month and 12 months comprise 1 calendar year or 1 full orbit of the sun. A human being is expected to live up to 100 years. That is the way of the controlling measure of eternal time. The Brahma Samhita 5.52 affirms this control in this way. Prabhuji, could you please read?
Yachakshuresha savita sakalagrahanam raja samastasura teja yasyadnaya brahmati samvrita kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Thank you. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, under whose control even the sun, which is considered to be the eye of the Lord, rotates within the fixed orbit of eternal time. The sun is the king of all planetary systems and has unlimited potency in heat and light. Hare Krishna.
Now this is the summary verse of all the Kala. Samvatsara. Samvatsara is called as orbit of the sun. Parivatsara. Parivatsara is the orbit of the Brihaspati, right? That is 12 years. Idavatsara, orbits of the stars. Iva. Anuvatsara. Anuvatsara is orbit of the sun, orbit of the moon. And Vatsara. Vatsara is our Vatsara, that is 1 calendar year. Prabhupada says, there are 5 different names for the orbits of the sun, moon, stars, luminaries. And then each have their own samvatsara. These are the 5 samvatsaras are being mentioned. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that the subject matter of physics, chemistry, mathematics, astronomy, time and space are dealt in the above verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. But as a devotee of the Lord, as far as we are concerned, Prabhupada says, we cannot explain them very thoroughly in terms of the technical knowledge. Of course, Prabhupada has explained them very thoroughly. But the subject is summarized that everything is controlled. Yachakshuresha savita sakalagrahanam. That everything is controlled under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, and that is called as Kala. Nothing exists without him. So this is Srila Prabhupada's beauty, that. Finally, we will discuss something, but the main topic will not be lost. There is a very beautiful saying, which is, I always tell this in my classes in college. The main thing is that the main thing should remain the main thing. Right? So Prabhupada, very beautifully follows this. Main thing is that, what is the main thing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam? Is Kṛṣṇa Bhakti. The main thing is that the main thing should remain the main thing. And Prabhupada says, as far as we are concerned, it is enough to know that nothing exists without the Supreme Lord. And everything works like the magical wand of the Supreme Lord. And then there is description of the truṭi, from truṭi to paksha. A description is given. 100 truṭis one make one Veda, 3 Veda make one Lava, 3 Lava make one nimeṣa, 3 nimeṣa make one kṣaṇa, 5 kṣaṇa makes one kaṣṭha. Then there is Laghu, that is 2 minutes, and there is 15 laghus make one danda, and then 6 dandas make one prahara. Prahara is around 3 hours, and therefore we say Ashta Prahara Leela, 8 into 3 for 24 hours, right? So this is prahara. Ashta Prahara makes 4 Prahara makes one day, 4 Prahara makes one night, and 1 full day is 8 Praharas, and 15 such days make one Paksha, and 2 Paksha make one Masa, month, and 12 Masa makes one Samvatsara, that is the orbit of the sun. And this is how Prabhupada says a human being is supposed to live for 100 such years. And the summary is that Yasyadnaya Brahmati Samvrida Kala Chakro. Entire this Kala Chakra is rotating under the instruction of the Supreme Lord. And I offer my devotional service, Govindam Adi Purusham. He is the Adi Purusha. Tam Aham Bhajami. We offer our devotional service unto such a personality of Godhead, Shri Govinda. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.